Coming up, the nation's leader giving the latest on the coronavirus pandemic. Fake news, that's what one doctor says as a viral voice note alleges that Grand Bahama has reported its first case. And hear about the changes taking place in the judiciary. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shashina Wolf-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the nation's leader, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, says we must win this fight against COVID-19, the coronavirus. Dr. Hubert Minnis announcing a short time ago an emergency order that gives the government temporary but necessary measures in the fight against COVID-19. The Prime Minister noting that similar measures are being used around the world. And as this is a global fight, the country must be prepared for battle. He believes the measures will help to save lives, protect health, and stop the spread of COVID-19. The Prime Minister imposing a curfew extending each night from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. with exceptions approved by the Commissioner of Police beginning 9 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, March 19th. Now, this curfew comes into effect beginning 9 a.m. until 9 a.m. until March 31st.
Distancing, businesses are being strongly urged to operate with essential staff only and to allow those who can work remotely from their homes. Members of the public service shall work from home as may be authorized by the Permanent Secretary, maintaining only essential staff for the performance of essential functions while adhering to at all times to social distancing. All establishments, institutions, businesses, offices, stores, and organizations shall suspend operations to the general public, except for the following: wholesale or retail grocery stores and farmers market from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. except doctors' offices, hospitals, or medical facilities. Pharmacies from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Gas stations from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Now, he says these establishments are exempted.
Medical supplies establishment also exempted are hotels, banks from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Commercial ports and related businesses from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Also exempted are airports, laundromats and wash houses for hygienic purposes from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Drive-through or takeaway food vendors from 6 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Construction companies carrying out any construction work from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Such other businesses or undertakings as may be specifically exempted in writing by the competent authority.
In addition, the PM says that no person shall host or attend the following:
a private party, which includes any person from outside of the immediate household of the house occupant, a recreational or competitive sporting event, a wedding which hosts 10 or more persons other than the bride, bridegroom, official witnesses, and the marriage officer, a banquet, ball, or reception, Any social event, a funeral, except 10 members of the immediate family and at least one officiant and essential mortuary staff, or a meeting of a fraternity society, private or social club, or civic association or organization.
Now, the Prime Minister says that these are just temporary measures and the curfew ends after consultation with medical personnel. Meantime, medical officials are shutting down claims that there is a confirmed case of the coronavirus COVID-19 on Grand Bahama. During our special one-hour television program, Coronavirus, the Pandemic, earlier today, Dr. Stacey Lang Bevins refuted rumors circulating by way of a viral voice note alleging that Grand Bahama has recorded its first COVID-19 case.
Unfortunately, these viral notes, which we now consider fake news, they're actually making our jobs as medical caretakers harder. It's inciting a lot of anxiety in our public at large, and we're asking persons to please stop.
I think when persons see, or persons who are attending the Rand Memorial Hospital, and they see the doctors or medical professionals dressed a certain way, then they automatically start to assume that these are cases?
Yes, they do. And it's unfortunate because they don't understand the routine that we have to go through. We have to remember that there's a very limited amount of health professionals or caretakers out there, and we have to take care of the entire community. So we have to take care of ourselves first. And so you can't just deal with persons nonchalantly.
Right.
We have to be cautious. And
now, Dr. Bevins is confirming that persons on this island have been tested for the virus.
Yes, we have, and everything is going good so far. We've had persons quarantined, and nothing has come back positive.
So all those results would have already
They
been
would have
in.
gone to NASA and back.
And it's negative.
Everything is good, yeah.
Well, the nation's leader condemning fake news or the dissemination of false information. Once again, it has become a common term in recent time. Our Italia Hall in this report talks to members of the public about fake news and what should be done to combat what seems to be a growing problem in today's society.
The nation's leader, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, stated this week in the House of Assembly that for some time now, there has been a problem in the country with the creation and spread of malicious fake news. And while we live in a free and open society where citizens have a right to express their opinions, the spread of fake news has the potential to cause violence and widespread panic that prevents citizens from following directions designed to protect their lives during a crisis. Under the emergency power regulations, no person shall publish or cause to be published, posted, or reposted over any media platform, inclusive of social media, any purported news, report, or purported statement of fact, knowing or having reasonable cause to suspect that it is untrue or false, or may incite public fear, panic, or ethnic hatred.
I totally agree with it because misinformation can be more damaging than this actual virus. So
I think it's really bad, honestly. What's going on right now, it's really crazy, and people shouldn't be doing those type of things.
False news could be detrimental in many cases, depending on the situation.
In these times now, you need to be able to be responsible, and no, it's not a joke. I mean, everything that's going on, it's serious enough that if somebody's putting out fake news, they have to really understand they're doing something wrong.
Resident Bianca Strawn says she too believes that persons who put out fake news should be held accountable.
I always call them the WhatsApp reporters. They always seem to have the information before anybody else. And, you know, when we've had the first case recorded, I didn't like the fact that a lot of people were trying to find out the person's personal information and things like that. But, you know, when you look at HIPAA and things, you can't find out people's personal information. As long as they're giving us relevant information in terms of not who the person is, but her contact trace and stuff like that, and notify the people. It's not up to us to be investigators and try to put out people's personal information.
Now, during the Prime Minister's address, he also expressed his disappointment over the fact that information that was set to be tabled in the House of Assembly that was shared with all members of Parliament was leaked to the public. Now, this resident says he hopes that all citizens, including government officials, law enforcement officers, and others in authority, are also held accountable for sharing premature or untrue information.
There'd be documents, whether it be videos, pictures. These things can create misinformation. Many times person have gotten voice notes or videos of accidents, murder scenes. It's not the public that's leaking this information. You know, sometimes it comes from officers. You know, they send it out to their people. Someone may come home and talk to their family members about confidential information. And then that family member will in turn speak to someone else, and you know how the cycle goes. So we have to be very careful when we talk about penalizing persons.
It's Talia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Well, the Grand Bahama Port Authority announcing that the planned increase in the cost of electricity has been delayed. Jamila Mizik reports.
The statement issued by the Grand Bahama Port Authority notes that the GBPA is acutely aware of the ramifications of the COVID-19 pandemic and have been working diligently over the past few weeks with relevant governmental agencies and key stakeholders to put a coordinated and robust plan in place. Carla McIntosh, Port Group Limited General Legal Counsel, stating that the potential impact not only to health but to the Grand Bahama economy can't be diminished as the world grapples with the coronavirus pandemic. She says, understanding the Port Authority's role of city regulator, the GBPA has an obligation to make decisions in the best interest of residents. And as a matter of priority, they have worked together with the Grand Bahama Power Company to temporarily suspend the storm recovery and stabilization charge. The additional charge of $7 per household and an average business charge of $24 was initially slated to become effective April 1st, but it has now been delayed until further notice. Now, the Port Authority commends the power company for their responsible corporate citizenry in collaborating with GBPA on the delaying of this charge. Meanwhile, the Grand Bahama Port Authority is encouraging everyone to follow guidelines set out by the World Health Organization in order to minimize the spread of COVID-19, including frequent and effective hand washing, maintaining a minimum 6-foot distance from others, staying home if you are sick, covering coughs and sneezes, and cleaning and disinfecting frequently touched surfaces daily. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
The CEO of Grand Bahama Power Company also issuing a statement on the decision to delay the implementation of the storm recovery and stabilization that was set to become effective April 1st. Dave McGregor, by way of press release, noting that in February 2020, they received approval from the Port Authority to recoup $15.6 million in Hurricane Dorian restoration costs starting in April and extending over a 5-year period. But following consultation with the regulator, the Grand Bahama Port Authority, they have agreed to a temporary suspension. McGregor says delaying the implementation of the charge is a measure to support our customers during this challenging and quickly evolving time. He says given the fluidity of the current situation surrounding COVID-19, GB Power cannot say when the additional charge will become effective. McGregor stating that the company still have to work ahead to complete restoration island-wide, and they remain committed to East Grand Bahama and to the restoration of supply to the residents and businesses of those communities. Meantime, Grand Bahama Port Authority setting up a COVID-19 hotline in order to ensure the safety of customers and staff from the spread of COVID-19. They've adopted some preventative measures advised by the Ministry of Health. Officials advising that while offices remain open, they are encouraging customers to contact them via phone or email between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 5 p.m. They are ensuring the public to utilize the online account service at gbpa.com/resources or visit the kiosk. Now, if you have any queries, contact their customer relations department. You can contact them at crd@gbpa.com, or you can call 350-9050 or 9051. Customer relations for GB Utility, that's gbupayment@gbpa.com, or 350-9009, 9059, 9084, 9088, 9094, or 350-9095. And coming up in the news, the COVID-19 threat affecting the judicial system. The details straight ahead.